Alright, so what you'll need for this build will be silicone for the stoppers. You'll also need 1¼ inch screws. You'll need wood. I used MDF. You could also use plywood or OSB. You just will probably want to use adhesives if you are to use them because they're much thinner. You need pipe or hose to eject the incoming air. You need fabric for the filter and a vacuum motor assembly. Alright, so now let's start on the build. You need to measure the width of your motor assembly, then add 1/2 inch to 1 inch all around to make sure that the piece of wood which is holding the motor assembly does not break. You also need to measure the length of the motor assembly. Mine was 4 inches, and I added 1½ inches to each side. Make sure that I have enough elbow room, and it'll make it really easy when I'm going in and finishing it up. Alright, now what we need to do is go and cut the 4 symmetrical pieces. It'll be the top, bottom, and 2 sides. After that, then we'll cut the 3 remaining pieces. Those will be the 2 ends, and it'll be the motor assembly support. Alright, so this is the basic box design, and then I'll screw it together, and then we'll have a piece right here, and it'll be covering all these edges, and a piece back here. Again, same way. Then we're going to have something like this, and it's going to be inside of it, and I'm going to cut a hole out for this motor assembly, and it'll fit right over here. Alright, now it's time to go and cut the inner support for the motor assembly and the 2 ends. Alright, so now we need to go and mark the holes. Once we've got that done, then we need to go and drill out the holes. I'm doing a total of 3, and we need to assemble the box. Alright, now that I'm rather tired and I'm short on time, then I'm just going to tap this block with my magical wand so that the hole will be magically cut out. Ready, set, 1, 2, 3. Oh, alright, good, it worked. Alright, so I've got one more step before I assemble it, which is to cut out the circle on this one. I decided to use this piece because I didn't want to have to cut up another of my big pieces of MDF, and I didn't want to have to drill the extra holes to go and let out that escaping that air that it pushes out. Alright, let's see, where are we going to put this one? Why don't we put it, why don't we just put it right there? There we go. Okay, same trick. Alright, ready, set. Alright, I'm glad it worked. That made it a lot faster. Alright, so now it's time to go and drill the holes for our copper tubing and the other air inlet holes. I'm going to be using a drill bit which is slightly larger than the 1/4 copper tubing, and we're going to drill a number of those holes. The way that you will adjust the airflow is you'll plug or unplug holes to go and increase or decrease the airflow from through that copper tubing. Now that that's done, we need to take our caulk gun and our tube of silicone, and we need to go and make little stoppers for each of the holes. and we're going to make sure that we have a nice blob around the copper tubing so that forms a good seal. Alright, so now what we need to do is we need to go and measure from the inside of this to the center of this piece. And that's giving me 2 3/4. And then what we need to do with that is we need to go and take that measurement and go and either scribe or in some way mark it along this edge, this box. Okay, so now I'm going to take 2 inches in from the outside of the box, and I'm going to mark that point along that line which we just scribed. Okay, now we're going to drill the holes for it. Okay, and do the same on the other side. Alright, so now it's time to go and check the alignment on the holes. Okay, the ones on the top look fine. And one of them on the bottom looks fine, but the other one's way off. So let's see, so it would be this one down on the other side. It needs to be moved this way. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the drill and drill it at a slight angle. And that should be enough to correct it so it doesn't have serious consequences. Okay, we flip it, and we're going to put in the screws. Okay, now that's done, we need to go and take this piece and we need to go and screw it onto the back. Okay, now do the same on the other side. Alright, so now it's time to go and fasten the front onto it as the real final step. Making sure that we sandwich this cloth in between the front and the box. Okay, and now snip off the excess fabric. Alright, so the original reason why I built the housing for the vacuum motor assembly was to go and utilize it as a solder sucker. That's why I used the 1/4" copper tube. That did not work because it didn't have enough negative air pressure. These motors assemblies do have a lot of negative air flow, so if you're trying to build projects where you need a lot of negative air flow, these are perfect. You can also go and utilize the air which it's pushing out by just basically doing the board on the front, on the sucking side of it, and putting it on the side which it pushes the air out. You have to be careful not to restrict the air flow too much, or else these will grow quite warm and can get even very hot. On some of them, then you've got the shaft which runs through the motor, itself, and on one side then it'll drive the blower sucker, and on the other side then it would normally drive a belt for like the beater brush. So if you've got small projects that you want, then you can go and drive them with that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this one, then if you like this video, then you may also enjoy these 2 videos. If you think I deserved it, please click the like button down below and consider subscribing. Thanks for watching Homeschool's Workbench. Have a good day.